Wow, I don't know why it wasn't working.
Okay,
It
okay.
wasn't working on my computer. I like literally just did a call before this and it was working. But no worries. I'm glad we're good to go now. So I'll take it away, Giacomo. Sorry about the technical difficulties, brother.
All good. Works out, you know.
Always works out, man. Always
Perfection,
works out. All right,
perfection,
cool, guys. Well, say that again.
perfection is the myth. Progression is the goal, right?
Amen. Amen to that, man. And we can't get fired in this business, which is a cool thing, right? So that's a good thing. So, anyways, lesson number one is that it's always perfect. Everything is always perfect. All right, right? That's actually it's strong enough. That's important enough that you should actually write that down. Everything is always perfect, guys. You're gonna have trials. You're gonna have tribulations. You're gonna have times when the technology isn't working. You're going to have times when people quit who you thought, were going to be studs. You're going to have times when your parents, tell you these things aren't real and it's not going to work, and your friends and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, everything's perfect, because life really, what you'll see is that people who are successful in this world, they're not people that are without problems. They're people who have learned to deal with their problems, right? They don't dwell on them. They instead just they take them as a situation. It's a life, right? It's just something that happens. And so that's an important actually conclusion to come to in this business, because you have a lot of ups, a lot of downs, a lot of just, it's just a roller coaster, right? It's like if you go up on a roller coaster, sometimes it feels like you're gonna go down. It feels like you're gonna fall out, right? You're gonna fall out of the roller coaster, but you're not, right? And when you look back, the times that were hard end up being the fun times, right? That's what creates your story, and you become thankful for all of those things. So that's an important thing, guys. So real quick, I'm going to dive into kind of the meat and potatoes of what I'm trying to get, what I'm trying to really give you guys here today, and the basics of what it's going to take to become extremely successful in this business. We all know it's a numbers game, right? Law of averages. Some people are going to do it, some people won't do it, right? The only way you get paid is by A, personally enrolling, or group enrolling, or B, group enrolling, right? Going out there and helping someone, or getting someone started in the business, showing them the plan, things like that, or group enrolling, helping someone on your team do one of those things. So here's the idea, guys, is that the last thing, those are the two things that are actually productive, that are going to help the cycles go up. But the last thing that you got to learn how to do is learn how to host an effective strategy session, right? Because there's three basic skills in VIMA that you have to get really good at in order to be rich, okay? So think about this. With basketball, there's three skills, right? You got to learn how to be a shooter. You got to learn how to shoot, right? You got to learn how to shoot, got to learn how to pass, and you got to learn how to dribble. That's what it is in basketball. Shoot, pass, dribble, okay? In this business, it's the same thing. There are three skills that you need to get good at, okay? Number one is the list. Number two is the invite. And number three is the presentation. Write those down, all right? These are the basic three enrolling skills that you must get A, good at yourself, B, get good at teaching others, and then C, get good at teaching others to teach others. And I'm going to dive into that in a sec. So those are the basic principles. But just like anything in life, is that what's more important than the how of what I'm going to talk to you about is the mindset going into it. And this is what I mean. All right, the key to success in this business, write this: key equals honesty and integrity, right? Honesty and integrity, or transparency. Some people like that. All right. All it means is that you're genuine, you're real, you're sincere, you're you. Okay. And this is what I mean, is that when you apply that philosophy of honesty and integrity to those three basic enrolling skills, this business gets really easy. Not kidding. Like, really easy. And this is what I mean. So first off, let's dive into each skill. The first skill I want to talk about here is the skill of making a list, right? Making a list. Some of you on this phone call, right? Some of you on this phone call haven't made a list yet, right? There's three types of people on this call: people who haven't made a list yet, people who have made a list but haven't hit everybody up yet, and people who have made a list and have hit everybody up on it, right? And they need to buy new people. So I'm going to talk to all you guys.
All right, a couple of connection problems. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. hopefully we can bring back
All right.
Mr.
That's the dangerous thing about doing it on the phone. Every time I get phone calls, it kicks me off. But we're Gucci. So like I said, guys, the first thing is making the list, right? And the key to how you make a list is that you have to you're looking for two people for this list. All right, two people for this list, and that's it. Number one, people that want to make more money, right? People who want to do better financially. People who want to go out there and become free, because money equals freedom, right? That's number one. Number two are people who just want to do better physically. People that want to look better in the mirror. People that want to look better at the gym. People that want to feel better when they wake up in the morning and have more energy, right? And that's the idea. So you're making a list of people who A, want to make more money, or B, want to get better physically. And you're going to realize when I go through this stuff that all of these things are stupidly simple. Stupidly simple. But your brain complicates that, right? So here's the idea, is that with the two things I've told you, number one is that you must build the key to success is building this thing with honesty and integrity. And number two, the list of people who want to make more money and people who want to be healthy, right? Who is that? Who are the type of people that are going to want to make more money and be healthy? What type of people are that? Basically everyone, right? Who would say no to an extra $500 or $1,000 a month? Who would say no to looking a little bit better when they look in the mirror? Who would say no to be turning heads on the beach? Who would say no, right, to a little bit more money? No one, right? And everyone needs a little bit of it. So the idea is this, is that if your list isn't more than 50 people, Tom Alcazin says 150 people, you're kidding yourself. You're not building with honesty and integrity. Because if you honestly believe that this is an opportunity to help people make more money, right? And you honestly believe that these products can help people's lives physically, which they can, then writing people's name down on the list shouldn't be hard to do, right? It should be really easy to fill that up. The average Facebook user has 600 friends on Facebook, right? Come on, guys, we can do that. So the people that have never made a list before, you need to just go do it, right? The people who have made a list and who have not called people on their list yet, it's because you're scared about it. It's like, I don't know what they're going to say. I don't think what they're going to do, things like that. It's because you're looking at the people on your list and all you're thinking about is, I need to get them to spend $500, or I need to get them to spend $150, or I need to get them to do this or that or whatever. You don't need to get your friends to do anything. You're showing your friends a way that they can make more money or a way that they can become better health physically. It's not rocket science, but you're doing them a favor by telling them. You're not trying to sell them. You're trying to tell them, right? This is a showing business, showing people what we have and educating them on what's possible. So the people that have then made the list and haven't invited people, it's because of the first things. You don't honestly believe in this business. You're not being transparent with it, right? Because if you have a song that you know your friend's going to like, you share it with them, right? You don't hold it back. You're not scared of what he's going to think, right? You're not scared of, oh, what if he hates this song? He thinks I'm stupid for showing it with him, right? Dude, if you thought that way, your life would suck, right? We're not like that, okay? So the people, the number three type of person, right? The people who have made a list and have invited everybody, you need to start having conversations about the two topics that we were talking about and other people's needs. So you need to talk to other people about their needs in A, health, or B, wealth. If I met someone at the gym, all right, and we're just talking, man, I ask him, you take any supplements? You do anything like that? Oh, not really. I mean, have you ever looked into it, man? You ever tried to just shred out by giving yourself, your body what it needs? I don't know, man. Wait, try this thing out. Let me know what you think. They taste it. They love it. They ask you about it. You're talking to someone just randomly. What do you do for work? Oh, I don't work right now, blah, blah, blah. Oh, why not? Oh, I don't have time. I don't have time, but they can use some money because everyone can use some money. That's your need. You found a need. They need a job. They need to make money. So you have to have the conversations will then lead to a list, right? Your conversations with new people will then lead to a list. There's 8 billion people in this world, right? We're in the people business. And the beautiful thing about being in the people business is that we never run out of people, ever, right? There's 8 billion. You're not going to go talk to 8 billion. So the list is so important and so honest. It's your greatest asset that you have. It's your money-making thing, okay? And I just spent a solid 10 minutes on this call just talking about a list. And the sad part about it is that half of you guys still won't even go make a list. And if you do have a list, you won't do the second part of this, which is invitations, inviting people to hear about this thing, right? So now you've made a list of 50 to 100 people who you know would benefit from this, either A, physically, or B, financially. And now you're inviting them to hear about this, okay? Here's the key. There's 4 parts to an invite. There's 4 parts to an invite. And you need to invite every person on this list this exact same way, okay? And this is the 4 parts. Number 1 is you clear the schedule. Number 1 is you clear the schedule. Number 2, tell them why you are calling through leverage or by leveraging. So number 1, clear the schedule. Number 2, tell them why you are calling by leveraging. Okay? Number 3, tell them what you want them to do. Tell them what you want them to do. That's number 3. And number 4, you give them a pressure release statement. Number one, you clear the schedule. Number 2, tell them why you want tell them why you're calling by leveraging. And number 3, tell them what you want them to do. And number 4, a pressure release statement. Pressure release statement. Here's how it works. Yo, Giacomo, what are you doing tomorrow at 8? Giacomo says nothing. I'm like, all right, perfect, bro. I got to get you to meet my boy Jamie Cheerio. You would not believe this, dude. This kid, when I met him, he was working, 2 years ago, this kid was working at Taco Bell, like minimum wage, no money to his name. In the last 2 years, he's now created a 6-figure income, all right? He went from Taco Bell to 6 figures in 2 freaking years, okay? And he wants to partner up with us and help us do the same thing out here in our area, all right? That's why I'm calling, right? Number 1, clear the schedule. What are you doing tomorrow at 8? Number 2, tell them why I'm calling by leveraging, right? I got to get you to meet my boy Jamie. Here's why you should meet him, right? And number 3, tell them what you want them to do. I know you already said that you were free tomorrow at 8, so tomorrow at 8, I got to get you on the phone with this guy so he can explain to you exactly how it all works, right? That's the idea. So you told them why you cleared the schedule, why you're calling through leveraging. Then number 3, the next part, is tell them what you want them to do. And number 4 is the pressure release statement. So, hey, man, I got to get you on the phone. I know you said you're already free tomorrow at 8, so I got to get you on the phone with him so you can hear what this guy's got to say. But just so you know, if you get on, I just want you to check this thing out. If you get on this call and you don't like what you have to hear, there's no pressure, man. I just want your opinion on how this whole thing works. To be honest, what's the key to success? Honesty, integrity. To be honest, I have a list of 50 people who I think could be really good at this and could benefit from it, but I'm really only looking for 5 or 10. I just want you to get on the call, hear this thing out, because I think it'd be something that you might like. And then if you like to do it, awesome. If not, no worries, bro. Just let me know, and I'll keep going on and telling a couple other people, right? So that's all it is that pressure release statement. The idea is that they need to know that they're not being sold anything. They're being told about something. We don't want to be sold a CD, right? Isn't it suck when you have you guys ever had this, where you're just walking down the street and there's these artists that come down with these CDs and they just come to you, hey man, buy my mixtape for $2, or buy this or buy that, or the vendors, right? Buy this, buy that, right? But then if someone tells you about a brand new CD that just launched, or someone tells you about a new song or a mixtape that just dropped, do you want to go check it out? You appreciate them for telling you about that. Hey man, thank you, right? So the idea is that your friends need to be honest and transparent with your friends and show them, hey man, I don't need you to do this. I'm not going to try and convince you or persuade you to do this. I just want you to check this thing out and then let me know what you think. And if you like it, awesome, let's do it. If not, awesome, okay? But here's what's going to happen after you do those steps, right? Clear the schedule. Tell them why you're calling by leveraging. Tell them what you want them to do. And then 3 is a pressure release, and 4 is a pressure release statement. And P.S., by the way, all this information is not my information. I got it from Tom Alcazan, all right? That guy doesn't even need to be edified. He makes $400,000 a month, All right? He does not need to be edified. This is his information. And this is what your friends are going to say. Well, what is it? How does it work? Sounds great, man. What is it? How does it work? I'm excited now. I want to know about it, right? Tell me what this thing is. If you explain anything, remember the 3 skills, invite, or the list, invite, presentation. If you say anything about our products, anything about, oh, it's a health and wellness company, they pay us for word of mouth advertising, all right, or this or that, you are no longer inviting, you are now presenting. And you cannot write this down. Don't confuse the invitation with the presentation. Okay? Don't confuse the invitation with the presentation. Here's the idea, guys, is that in this business, there's those 3 steps. You can't try and dribble and shoot at the same time in basketball, right? I can't pass and shoot at the same time. You're either doing one or you're doing the other. If you try and do them both at the same time, you're screwed. So when your friend asks you, well, what is it? How does it work? How do you answer? What's the answer to everything? You're honest and transparent and sincere with him, and you build this with integrity, and you tell them how you actually feel. Honestly, man, I could try and explain this thing to you right now, but I do it no justice, all right? And I just got started with this thing, and I couldn't even effectively explain it if I tried. Instead, just talk to Jamie. He'll explain everything for you. And like I said, if you don't like what you have to hear, man, you lose 30 minutes of your life, and it's no big deal. But if this is what I think this is, all right, I'm telling you, man, this could be your way out, right? This could be our way out. So you're honest and sincere. It's like imagine you're in calculus. You're in a calculus class, right? And your buddy comes up to you and he asks you a question, right? He asks you a question, and you tell him, and you don't know the answer exactly. You know some calculus, and you might know a little bit, but you don't know the exact answer, right? Are you going to try and BS him and be like, oh, it's this or this or this, it's this thing? Or are you going to be like, honestly, bro, I don't know. Just go talk to the teacher, right? Here, talk to my friend, the teacher. She knows how to answer everything, right? You're gonna refer him to the teacher. Number 1, because it's less work for you, but number 2, it's because it's better for him, because she'll do a better job of explaining exactly what it is and answering his question. Do you get that? Does that make sense? That's very important distinction. Do not try and answer this question. And if you follow this system that I'm teaching you, this invite system, this invitation, you should get 7 out of 10 people onto the call. 7 out of 10 people that you invite should be like, yes, I'm down, and they'll confirm. Right? I'll get on. Okay, I'll do it. Not everyone that says I'll get on will get on, but about 7 out of 10 people should say that they're going to get on. And if you don't get that, you're messing something up with the invitation, and we can change it from there. So a quick overview of what I just said. Number 1 skill is the key to everything is the philosophy and your intent behind it. Honesty and transparency, right? And then you apply that to making a list, and you write down people who you could help, not who you could get to do this, but people who would benefit from making it a little bit of extra money and getting some some nutrients physically, right? Write down their names, okay? So that's the number 1 skill, making the list. Number 2 skill, all right, you invite people from that list to hear about the opportunity from someone else. And there's 3 stages. Number 1, clear the schedule. Number 2, tell them why you're calling by leveraging. Number three is you tell them what you want them to do. And number 4 is the pressure release statement. You're saying, hey, man, it's not a big deal if you don't do this. Not a big deal. I just want your opinion and you to get on the call, right? And then number 4 is when they go out there and they say, well, what is it? You're honest and sincere, and you say, hey, man, I couldn't even explain it if I tried, right? I couldn't even do it. Instead, just talk to my boy over here. He'll explain everything, and if you don't like what you have to hear, no worries. You lose 30 minutes of your time. But if this is what I think it is, this could be the opportunity that you're looking for. This could be your way out, right? And you're honest and you're sincere. And then number 4, and remember, you're not confusing the invitation with the presentation. That's the key to that last statement, is that when they ask you what it is, right? And then the last skill is the presentation. And the best way to learn the presentation is by doing is by 2 things. Number 1, observing the presentation. And number 2, doing the presentation. So you listen to people like Giacomo present. You listen to how like I present. I'll do a conference call tonight, right? Watch videos of Alex Morton. Study, right? Study the outlines, Brad Alcazar, things like that, right? And you watch how others present. And then you start presenting yourself. Ask Giacomo, ask Jamie, ask anyone who's a good presenter. They got good by doing it. That's the way you get good. It's like if I'm riding a bike, right? If I was teaching you how to ride a bike and I gave you the best book in the whole world on how to ride a bike, but then you go out there and try to hop on a bike, what are you going to do? You're going to fall. You're going to fall until you ride that bike and get back on. And then all right, sorry about that, guys, but we're back here. Another phone call. But like I said, we're wrapping up here. So like I said, the only way you get good at the presentation is number one, by observing people who are already doing it, and that's kind of how you get that side of your brain. And number two is by doing it. Just like riding a bike, the only way you learn balance is by actually going out there and falling and getting up and actually practicing and doing it yourself. Does that make sense? Okay, good. So now in closing, there's three keys, three levels to success, and I alluded to them previously on this call. I said previously, what do you do with these skills? Number one, make sure you're writing all this stuff down. Number one, you master the skills. You get really freaking good at going out there and A, finding people who want to make more money or do better physically. B, inviting them to hear about something that could change their life and that could help them do both those things, do something, get better physically and financially. And then C, showing them and presenting the information of how they can actually go out there and get better financially and do better financially, right? That's the key. That's it. You got to master those skills, number one. Number two is that you have to learn how to teach those skills. You need to learn how to teach those skills. The list, the invite, and the presentation. Learn how to teach others. So if a new member gets started on your team, you can do with them what I'm doing with you. You can teach them how to do it, right? If you're trying to create the best basketball team of all time, right? You A, better know how to shoot, dribble, and pass, right? You better. You B, better know how to be able to take someone new and teach him how to shoot better, or shoot, dribble, and pass, right? That's the key. But here's the idea. This is the one thing that separates VIMA from everything else. Network marketing from everything else. And what makes what we're doing right here today so freaking special is that you can't, number three, third step, number one, you master them. Number two is you learn how to teach them. And number three, and actually real quick. Number two, learn how to teach them, right? Learn how to teach others those skills. Add this. And you do this by teaching them, right? The way you get good at teaching is by teaching. The more I give this speech, right, this training of how to do these three skills, the better I've gotten at it. The first time I did it, I sucked. I kept forgetting what they were. I had to have a sheet of paper in front of me reminding me. Now I just know, right? I just know, and I'm just telling you them, right? And that's how you get good, is that you don't have to be perfect. Not at all. You get good by doing it. So A, you get good by, you master the skills. B, you get good at teaching the skills by teaching the skills. That's an important. And then three, you teach others how to teach others. Okay? You teach others how to teach others. And when you can teach others how to teach others, man, the rest is history. All right, the rest is totally cool, and you're good. Right? Because then you build the people, and the people build the business. That's what that means. You build the people, and the people build the business. Here's my secret. Here's my secret. Is that the best way to teach others is to have your people teach you. Right? So if this were not a webinar right now, and I just enrolled each of you, yes, I'm talking to you right on the other end of this line, individually as a person. I just enrolled you. I would sit down and I would teach you what I just said on this webinar. I teach you how to make a list, and then I do it with you. I'd actually have you make that list. I teach you how to invite, right? and then I'd have you practice the invite with me. And then I'd teach, and then I'd be like, listen, now you're going to get me to present and watch how I do it, right? Here's the secret of what I'd really do after that is that after I've taught it to you and I see that you've made a list and I see that you know how to invite, I'm going to pretend like now you just enrolled me and now you have to teach me how to do those things. So, for example, it would be like if let's just say I just enrolled Giacomo and I just taught him those 3 skills, and I'd be like, okay, Giacomo, now teach those skills right back to me, man. What do I do? How do I get involved? What do I have to get good in this business? And Jack would be like, all right, Luke, well, hey, man, the key in the beginning is it's all about honesty and integrity, right? You got to be sincere. You got to be honest. You got to be real, because the key is that people don't want to be sold, right? But they love being told, right? And then you got 3 skills. You got a list, invite, presentation. You got a list, and you talk to people who want to make more money or B, want to become better physically, right? Then you got your invitation, and there's 4 parts to the invitation, right? You got to clear the schedule, tell people why you're calling through credibility, and then you go out there and you tell them what you want them to do, and then you got a press release statement. And then after they say all that, they're going to ask you, what do you want to do, right? When they ask you, what do you want to, or they're going to ask you, sorry, how does it work? Sounds great, but what is it and how does it work? And when they say that, if you say a health and wellness company or Vimo or nutrition or word of mouth advertising, all right, what that means is that you're now confusing the invitation with a presentation. Instead, just be honest and sincere, like we said earlier, and be like, I could try and explain it, but I do no justice. And just get them on the call with me that night without explaining anything. If you do it right, you should get about 7 out of 10 people involved, right? And then the last 3 things, you got to learn how to master these skills on the presentation, and you learn it 2 ways. You learn it A, by observing it, and then B, by doing it. Right? And then you got 3 levels of this. You gotta learn the skills yourself. You gotta learn how to teach the skills, and you learn how to teach the skills by teaching the skills. And then the last one is that you gotta learn how to teach to teach. Right? And that's it. And when you learn how to teach to teach, you got it good. And when Giacomo can tell me that, when Giacomo knows it so well, just like he knows his name, just like he knows the ABCs, just like you know your language, right? When you understand that, and when Giacomo can do that, now I know he's ready. Now I know Giacomo can teach others. So what I just did is I taught Giacomo how to teach others, right? And that's the whole idea in this business. So once again, guys, Giacomo, you are the man. I appreciate you guys getting this whole webinar together. The last thing I want to leave you out with is that maybe you guys haven't heard that information before. And the reason for that is that, guys, I in the beginning of this business, I let my ego get in a little bit, right? I tried to figure out my way of doing things, right? I was made excuses like, oh, well, Tom, he doesn't understand the young market, right? He doesn't understand young people. He only built it with old people, so I got to figure this out. Or Tom just doesn't get the people here in Michigan. He only know how to talk to people out in California. He doesn't get people in Michigan, right? Or Tom, he did this without the internet, so now we got to do a different system because now we have the internet, right? It's wrong, guys. The principles are the same, right? They're the exact same thing. I don't care if you're in Europe. I don't care if you're in Asia. I don't care if you're in America. I don't care if you're 110, if you're 20 years old, if you're a teenager, or if you're about to croak, man. I don't care. The principles are the same. Imagine, take this analogy in, okay? I give you an option, right? You're about to take the biggest exam of your entire life, the biggest, most important exam in your entire life, and I give you an option. I'm the teacher. You're the student. All right, you can either A, copy the person next to you, right? You can copy the person next to you, or B, and by the way, the person sitting next to you is the smartest person in the class. He always gets a 4-point, literally every single time. So you can A, either copy the person next to you who happens to be the smartest person in the class, or B, you can go home, study on your own, and then come back, sit in the back corner of the room and take the test on your own and see how you do, right? Which one, and this test, by the way, is going to determine your entire future for life. What are you going to do? What do you think? If you said that you were going to go home and study and take it on your own, why? Why? It's more work, and you probably won't do as well. Why wouldn't you just copy the person sitting next to you who automatically gets a 4-point every single time, and you can just copy the answers? And you're allowed to do that. You're not cheating. It's encouraged. It saves you time, and it gives you better results, right? So we all would copy the person next to us if you're logical and smart, if you have any bit of intelligence. So my question to you is this. Why is it in this business you instead go home and decide to study and take the test on your own so many times. And I'm not saying this in a judgmental way because that was me. I tried to figure it out. I tried to do my way. I tried to put my own smart. I thought I was so smart, right? But you know what? The answer to the question, what would you rather do in that scenario? And here's the correct answer, is that you copy the smartest person in class until you become the smartest person in class. And when you're the smartest person in class, you're the one who gets all the same grades, all the best grades. That's when you can do your system. But if you have not made $34 million in this industry, don't try and do anything other than what I just said. I've tried it. I've been there. All right, this is the key. The first basic in life is who do you listen to? You listen to people who have what you want and have been where you're at and are willing to give you the information. Tom Elkasman started this business when he was 19 years old, right? He has made over $34 million because of these principles that I just taught you. And if you get really good, and how much money you're going to make in this business is determined on how good you want to be at those three things that I just gave you. If you want to get really, really good at them, then you're going to make a lot of money. If you just want to get aight, then you're going to make aight money. If you don't want to do them at all, you're not going to make any money. So the key, if you really want to be a big success story, is do the basics well, do the basics better than everyone else, and do them often. And if you do the basics well and you do the basics often, and you do them more than everyone else, you do them better than everyone else and more than everyone else, that's how you make more money. That's my secret, guys. And I'm telling you, the key to success is mastering those basics. So that's how I'm inviting that, and it works all the time, man. And that's kind of how you can create that duplication. I hope you guys got some good value from this call. Sorry I kind of cut off there a couple times. It was a little bit messed up with the technology. But once again, key basic, it's always perfect, right? It's always okay.